Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Drew Carney, and we have breaking news to start with here at noon. The local nurse who worked at Providence St. Vincent and whose friends said went missing while vacationing in Eastern Europe has been found dead. According to police headquarters in Budapest, they arrested a suspect who confessed to killing 31-year-old Kenzie Michalski. The suspect also showed police where he hid her body. Kenzie was on vacation with a friend in Budapest. That friend left to travel to Italy back on November 4th. Another friend of Kenzie said she visited a few bars within walking distance from her Airbnb on the same night, November 4th. The last contact she had with any of her friends was a text that was sent out around 12:45 a.m. on November 5th. But the host of the Airbnb called to report that Michalski never checked out and never collected her items from the home. We have reached out to Providence as well as friends of Michalski, and we'll have more on the story coming up for you at 4 o'clock. Also new here at noon, the hotly contested race for Oregon's 5th congressional district is called. The Oregonian projects Democrat Janelle Bynum will flip the seat, bringing Republican incumbent Lori Chavez-DeRemer back home. Again, Bynum claims the seat. She wins that district for Democrats. According to the Oregonian, vote tallies show no viable path at this point for Chavez-DeRemer to overcome Bynum's lead. As of last night, Bynum had 48% of the vote to Chavez-DeRemer's 45%. Bynum did issue a statement after her victory this morning, saying in part, quote, "I will always stand up for Oregonians no matter who you voted for in this election and fight tirelessly every day to deliver for families all across our district." Today, she said, we start a new path forward for Oregon, one of hope, opportunity, and change for the better. Bynum, by the way, is the first black member of Congress from the state of Oregon. We did reach out to Lori Chavez-DeRemer's campaign for comment, but so far haven't heard back. The Oregonian also called the winner in Washington's 3rd congressional district. The call came down last night with Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez beating out Republican challenger Joe Kent in their hotly contested rematch from 2002. This time she won by roughly 11,000 votes, a wider margin than her victory over Kent 2 years ago when she won by less than 3,000 votes. So Gluesenkamp-Perez gets to keep her seat in Washington, D.C., representing Southwest Washington in the House of Representatives. Here's what she told KGW on election night.
It is incredibly rare for somebody like me to get to Congress. I don't have a trust fund. I can't raise money off of my phone contacts. I don't have a law degree. But we need that at the legislative table. You don't get good legislation until you have people who are turning wrenches and changing diapers and driving trucks as part of the conversation, not an afterthought.
In a statement last night, she thanked the voters in her district, calling it a profound honor and a gift to serve them in Congress. She went on to say, quote, "I will continue to honestly reflect the independence of Southwest Washington in everything I do as our voice in D.C. Our heritage," she said, "as fiercely independent, loyal fighters for our community is as clear to me as it was the day my family and I decided to ask for the privilege of working for our community." We also reached out to Joe Kent's campaign for comment, but so far have not heard back. As President-elect Donald Trump prepares for his return to the Oval Office, he's already making decisions for his future administration. He named his chief of staff yesterday. It's his co-campaign chief, Susie Wiles. Wiles will be the first female chief of staff in U.S. history. The president-elect is also looking to make good on his campaign promises, which includes his pledge to deport millions of undocumented immigrants. KGW's Catherine Cook has some local reaction to his plan.
We've all been grieving the last 2 days.
For Reverend Mark Knudsen, that grief comes from concern for immigrants under the next Trump administration.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history to get the criminals out.
All the people I've talked to in this congregation and in the community who are scared, frightened, to think of the knock at midnight.
Knudsen's church, Augustana Lutheran in Northeast Portland, has long offered sanctuary for undocumented immigrants facing deportation.
Right now, people know they can come. I have some people here today just came to be because they knew they were safe.
Outside these church walls, Oregon offers its own sanctuary state protections. Immigration law is administered by federal agencies, but state laws drive immigration enforcement. That's according to the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. The nonprofit created this map showing how each state fares. Only Oregon and Illinois have comprehensive state laws restricting transfers of people to ICE.
No, we're blessed to be in Oregon. We are.
In a post-election statement, Oregon's outgoing AG, Ellen Rosenblum, says she's confident the new AG will continue to protect immigrant communities. Back in 2017, Trump signed an executive order declaring sanctuary cities Portland and Seattle ineligible for receiving federal grants. A federal judge ruled the order unconstitutional.
We are rich in our diversity.
On Thursday, Portland Mayor-elect Keith Wilson leaned into Portland's sanctuary city status.
To those immigrants and refugees who have only just arrived, every neighborhood matters. Every community matters. Every person matters.
We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country.
It's unclear how Trump will do that, though on Thursday he told NBC News, "We have no choice when people have killed and murdered. They're not staying here. There is no price tag." For now, Knutson says he and other sanctuary churches are preparing for how they can keep migrant families together.
We will be ready. If we have to have 1,000 people living here, we will do that.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
All right, we'll take a break from the political talk here this afternoon. Chris McGinnis to talk about weather. I know you're not just focusing on temperatures this afternoon, you're also talking about air quality.
Yeah, you know, despite the really nice weather, Drew, the air quality's taken a little bit of a hit in the last day or two, and a lot of that is because of the really nice weather. High pressure aloft, stagnant air, and not much to stir things up. And so what that leads to is occasionally moderate air quality, and that's what we're seeing here up and down the I-5 corridor with all these dots on our air quality map. In fact, even a couple of sections showing up with unhealthy air in central Marion County and Coos County. So again, it's nice to see the sun, but that is also kind of helping to trap some of those pollutants in a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean here as we look at our Wells Fargo sky camera. You can see a little bit of haze out there between downtown Portland and Mount Hood, where it's currently 57 degrees, by the way, at PDX. Up on the mountain, it's 53. Now, earlier today, it was warmer up at Timberline than it was across most of the valley. And that temperature inversion kind of keeps some of those pollutants locked in. And you get that day after day after day. And sometimes it can take a while to clear things out. Not only that, but we've got some fog still showing up in portions of Lane County now into the noon hour. 56 in Tigard, 55 Beaverton. Still kind of cool, though, down towards Albany and Corvallis in the low 40s. Again, a little fog down there, but the rest of us clearing out nicely, and it's a beautiful finish to our work week. Drew, I do think temperatures inch into the lower 60s this afternoon. We'll enjoy it. There's a little bit of rain coming our way tomorrow, a little bit more on Sunday, and then a lot more Sunday night into next week. We'll look at that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Chris. Back to our local headlines now this afternoon. Vancouver police say a mother who was found dead in her car was the victim of homicide. Investigators say someone saw the car around 4:30 in the morning last Friday on Blandford Drive near the Evergreen Boulevard overpass. When police responded, they say they found 31-year-old Courtney Valencia Clinton dead inside, and her young child was also inside the car but was not hurt. We're told that child is now with other family members. The medical examiner says Clinton died from wounds on her neck. Also, the man accused of the deadly shooting inside Vancouver Mall on Halloween night will stay in jail after a judge denied him bail. Travis Ward is accused of shooting 26-year-old James Perez in the back of the head, killing him. 2 other men were also hurt that night. Police say it appears that Ward was targeting Perez, but we still don't know why. He'll be back in court December 12th.